Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today I'm working on this Integra. It has a GSR engine in it with Nippon Racing pistons and a set of forged rods. Like I said, it is a B18C1 GSR. It has a Pro Series Skunk 2 intake and a ram horn manifold with a 6262 turbo. I believe that's what turbo it is. And yeah, we're going to tune it using HTS today. It has a chipped ECU in the car, and I believe it has a set of fuel injector Clinic 1000s. I can't verify the brand exactly what they are. But anyways, we're going to tune it. It's on pump gas, 91 octane, and we're going to see if we can make like 350-ish wheel. We'll see how that goes. But first, we're going to have to get the ECU chip map read. So I'm going to go into the car and I'm going to go into the chipped ECU, which is just on the floor here. So I'm going to take the chip out of the computer and I'm going to see if I can read the file that's on here. Otherwise, we'll just have to start fresh with a base map of mine. So that's what I'm going to do to start. We'll get this thing up and running. And then once we get it up and running, I'm going to set the ignition timing, just do some small stuff like that. We'll sync the TPS to the ECU. And yeah, just going to double check all our fluids here. We got coolant in it, that's good. And the oil is full. Okay, so we're ready to go. The guy did tell me before he dropped it off that there was no lower timing cover on this engine. So I told him to just mark the oil pump and mark the crank pulley, as well as mark the camshafts with some white paint. So he did that for me and did that before he dropped it off. So setting the ignition timing should be a little bit easier. I just got done doing this Camaro before this. The Camaro has been here for a little while now, but it's a little bit tricky. These new LT motors are a little bit just a little bit more not in my wheelhouse as like the older HP tuner stuff, so I'm learning. Mike from Mesh Tuned on Instagram, if you guys follow him, GoLab Works. He's been helping me out, just kind of tuning in remotely a little bit on that thing. He also wanted me to start doing more of these newer cars, so you know, maybe if Mike can help out here and there, I can start expanding my horizons. I know he does a lot of like Hellcats and Dodge Challengers and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll start getting into those too. That'd be cool. Alright guys, so I did that as a 2018 Camaro, and it had a supercharger on it and all the Corvette ZL1 fuel system. Had a Elky meth kit on it. There was a ton of really cool stuff on this car, but I struggled with it for like a couple weeks, and I'm still in talks with the guy, just trying to get a lot of little stuff worked out on it. Mike's been really busy, so like I've been trying to get a hold of him in order to maybe get a little bit more assistance on it. Everything works really good with that car, but it's just really little stuff like getting the car to respond good off idle and idle like consistently perfect every time was really kind of tricky on that thing. And I like spent hours and hours trying to like get everything perfect on it, but I'm kind of new to tuning torque tables, and a lot of that new the new GM stuff is all torque table based, and it's kind of over my head. I gotta get like I said, I had to get some help on that one, but hopefully soon Maybe I'll make some videos on that stuff, but it's been a little bit of a learning process for me. But I just wanted to throw those clips in quick before we get back to the Integra. The Integra had some issues later on in the video that you guys will see. But yeah, back to the Integra. But I will pick up with you guys in a minute as soon as I get something ready for this car and once we get up and running. Alright guys, got it up and running. It's running pretty smooth, but I went to go set my ignition timing. And I don't know if you guys can see, but this thing's spitting oil out from somewhere. You can see the oil splashing up onto the fender and the cruise control box here. And then down there it's leaking pretty good. I don't really know where it's coming from, but got the timing all synced up here. I'm gonna shut it off and see if we can figure out where the hell this leak is coming from. Got oil pressure. But yeah, this thing is soaked. I didn't even do anything to it. I just let it idle here in the shop and it's just puking oil. Like puking oil. A valve cover gasket, I think, maybe? Wow. Okay. Gonna have to see what's going on there. Oh no, it's got a cam seal pushed out. Yep. It's got a cam seal that just pushed out. I'm gonna see if I got a better flashlight here that I can show you. So if you look behind the cam gear, might be kind of hard to tell on camera. Maybe right there you can see it. The cam seal's pushed right out. And it is pissing oil. So, I'm gonna see if I gotta fix this or what's going on. Alright guys, so I just got done brake cleaning a lot of the oil off of everywhere. And I was able to kind of snake something in there and push that seal back in. I don't think it's gonna last, but it might be good enough for us to get this thing tuned. So, like I said, I just kind of pushed that seal back in. The intake cam seal was the same way, so I'm gonna try to, I don't know, we'll pray and see if this seal will hold. Hopefully it will, so we can get this thing all tuned up. Next I'm gonna check the fuel pressure. We already got the TPS synced with the HTS. We got the ignition timing synced, and now, like I said, I'm just gonna double check the fuel pressure. And yeah, we'll start driving it, see how everything's doing. All right, y'all, so it's still leaking a little bit, but I think we can still get it tuned. I just drove the car for about 5 minutes on the dyno. We haven't really lost any oil on the dipstick. I think if we just kind of keep it topped off, it'll be okay just for tuning. And then the guy that owns the car said he's gonna come and get it and fix the cam seal once it's tuned. That just saves some time and labor for me and gets the car tuned. This is something that's not going to affect the tune. It's just going to affect if the oil runs out of the car, which would be bad. So, well, like I said, we're just gonna keep an eye on everything and go from there. Another thing too I wanted to address is a guy commented on one of the videos that I posted a while ago, and he said, I can't believe you don't run a dyno fan in front of the car. Little do these people know, it's fucking May 1st tomorrow, and it's still like getting down into the 20s at night, so it's cold. And I have a hard time getting cars to warm up on the dyno. So when I run the cooling fan, literally the car doesn't warm up. So I usually don't run the cooling fan until the car actually gets up to temp. I'm always monitoring coolant temp and intake air temp. But that's just something that, you know, if you don't see a fan in front of the car, it's because it's cold as fuck outside. I'm in Wisconsin, and a lot of the videos I've been doing recently, it's been, you know, like 30 degrees or colder outside, and that's kind of the reason behind not having the fan. Plus I have the ceiling fans on that blow down onto the car as well, but I have a big ass dyno fan here, and when this thing's on, there's air pumping, let me tell you what. Alright guys, so I got everything driving pretty good, and a little bit into that run, I believe we popped a coupler somewhere, because it was making boost and then it wasn't making boost. So something blew off or something. This one is tight. That one's tight. That one's tight. I'm gonna have to check this out. Well, unfortunately guys, this one's gonna get cut off short today. The turbo failed and it's junk, so can't really tune it much more. The oil leak and the turbo, like I said, unfortunately we can't really get it tuned. I don't know if you could hear in the video, but I was in the car and it almost sounded like it popped a coupler. All the couplers are good, but the turbo, on the other hand, is shot. So he's just gonna get a turbo on it, gonna keep fighting. He said this car has been a curse for a long time, and it's always kind of had shit like this happen. I've had cars like that where, for example, my Buick Regal that I did way back in the day, I believe that car just was cursed. No matter what I seemed to do, shit just seemed to go wrong. But needless to say, he's gonna get a turbo on it and bring it back. I did get the low cam side of the map tuned in, but couldn't get into VTEC or anything like that, so we're gonna have to call it quits for tonight. But I did get a ton of other stuff for my Integra that I'm pretty excited to show you guys. I actually got it up here on the lift, and I'm in the process of doing replacing all the wheel bearings on the car, and I'm gonna put new brakes on it as well. This car's been rolling around 3 lug nuts for a while, so I'm gonna get all new studs put in, all new wheel bearings, all new brakes. I did the Rev 9 coilovers on here, and I'm also gonna replace the axles because I think it's really hard to tell, but like, I feel like one of the axles is bad because every time I take a corner in this car, it, oh, maybe it's this side. I don't know if you guys can see. This side's axle's got quite a bit more play than the other side, so I think I'm just gonna replace both axles right away. I put brand new inner and outer tie rods on this car, brand new coilovers. Now I'm just gonna finish up the rest of the suspension and brakes. And I also got a set of Toyo R888s for it, which I'm actually gonna grab out of my truck right now, and I'm gonna bring them into the shop and show you guys the new tires for the car. All right guys, I just got these mounted yesterday. These are my Toyo R888s. I've never ran a set of these tires. Figured I'd give it a shot on the old Integra. And they are quite a bit bigger than my old tires. I had a set of Toyo Proxies on this car, and they were like a 195. I actually got them sitting up on my tire rack here. They were like a 195 something. 195, 45, 15. So these things were really low profile, and I wanted to go taller on the tire for two reasons. One reason being is that my speedometer is about 10 to 15 miles an hour fast right now. So if I'm doing 90 on the Speedo, I'm really only doing like 75. So I wanted to get that down back to normal, and I wanted to be able to use this 6-speed transmission and highway drive it without it screaming so high on the RPM. I think doing like a true 80 miles an hour, which is like almost 100 on the dash, was like 4,500 RPM, and it's constantly in and out of VTEC. So if I put a taller tire on it, it will lower the RPM on the highway and hopefully make my Speedo read correctly. So that's the goal. These tires are not a 195/45, they are a 225/50. So I went with a 225/50 15. Another reason I did that is because Christian Morrison Built Performance down south. He recommended me these tires because it's what he runs on his car he calls the Myth. It's a turbo K-Series car, and he says he runs these tires on the street, and they're like 24-inch diameter. So if I go to a slick, my gear ratio and boost by gear and all that stuff's going to be a lot closer going from a 24.5-inch slick down to these Toyo Proxies. So I think that's going to be cool. I'll be able to dial the car in with pretty much the same tire on it as I would have going to the drag strip. So I'm excited to get those on. Like I said, also going to replace the axles because I think they might be bad. One of the last street driving videos I talked with this car, I said that it vibrated when I took a corner. So I'm going to replace those. And yeah, so also got a AEM X Series oil pressure gauge I'm going to put in the car. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm debating on doing some more stuff to this car. You guys can probably guess what it is. I don't know how long this car is going to stay naturally aspirated. I was going to do some nitro tuning with it and tune it on like 50/50 nitro, but I think I'd rather just do another way of making power, and I won't have to pay $250 for a 5-gallon drum of fuel. I think it'd be cheaper another way. Not nitrous, because that shit's expensive too. Yeah, and then I want to just get this car ready to kind of daily drive. I got some extended wheel studs for it too, to go along with my new wheel bearings. So I just got these extended studs on eBay. They seem like they're pretty good quality, and they're like twice the length of a stock one. So I got some lug nuts on the way. I got, yeah, some other shit. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted whenever I get some stuff done on this thing. But I'm gonna head home and finish up my bike project that I got going on. Since this got cut down short, I'm gonna go home and get some more work done. So I don't know, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully the Mustang will come out soon. I'm just kinda gotta put it back together, and I want to clean up some stuff, clean up some small stuff on this car, get it a little bit better than it is now. We'll get back to the racetrack. Hopefully the weather will warm up. It's been a very cold and rainy spring. I think like Alaska is warmer than we are. Fucking Canada is warmer than we are. And it's literally been just rain for like 2 months straight. And we get like one nice day, and then it's back to bullshit. So it's kind of annoying. But what do you do? Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the video for today. The guy with the Integra the turbo that was on that car was like a GTX 3071.
I'm sorry.
Christine's making cookies or something. That car had like a knockoff 3071. It wasn't a turbo for me or anything, but it failed, and he ended up ordering a 5855 dual ball bearing from my website. So whenever that turbo gets put on that car, I'm sure it'll be back, and hopefully back for some redemption and making some good power. I just got done doing a Cutlass today that I filmed, and I have some other Grom stuff that I was filming, and that stuff's kind of gotten put on the back burner too, because just been needing assistance with a couple little things. Unfortunately, I don't have the knowledge with the CBR engines as much as the Grom engines, so just waiting on some stuff there, and I do have some stuff filmed for it. I just don't think it's enough for a full video quite yet. So thanks for watching the video. Have a great night and a better tomorrow, and we will see you later.